What's up, man? It's your boy Les, aka LE Dollar, and I'm here with DGB, and they just pulled up on me, man. H-time.
Top of the top, we got what we got. A little to lot, that shot me a shot.
All right, yes sir, yes sir. What's up, y'all? This is Speedy from DGB. We have to bring our talents down to H-Town, and we got our boy LE Dollar. We just pulled up on him. What's up, bro? How you feeling?
What's going on, family? What's the word, man?
Man, coolin', bro. You know, we had to come to Houston, pull up on you, man, get this DGB exclusive, man. You know,
Right. You're only right. I ain't seen you in a minute.
Man, bro, it's been way too long. I know we was just talking about that. Like, you can't even tell how many years it's been because the pandemic just messed you up. You know,
we went through a black hole.
Yeah,
you know
for real.
Like
Like
a time jump.
Right.
Yeah, man. Like, boys got long hair, all kind of shit.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Shit. Hey, man, and Kaz been elevating, man.
Right.
And, you know, blessed to have been able to, you know, stand the test of time with this.
Yeah, man. That was a time. That was a time to get through, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure.
Nah, absolutely. Yeah. So man, let's kind of take it back to some of those times, bro, because, you know, the blog era, you know, that was, you know, a very interesting era in the game.
Thanks.
And, you know, because I feel like that was that transition from analog into digital.
Thanks,
you know, people were still selling CDs, but we were coming to the transition of that being over.
Yeah.
Can you kind of talk about, you know, like, coming up in that era and, you know what I'm saying, like how that was during that time?
Yeah, man, that was a different time, bro. I think we were talking a little earlier off camera and shit, but it's just about like, you know, back then, even when I was first starting out, the only way I thought that I could get somebody's attention was like pressing up CDs and handing them out like flyers. You know what I mean? And that shit means you would have to go hustle up some money, put it together, you know, get out there and actually hit the pavement. Yeah. Man, hand your CD to somebody that you done worked your ass off on and spent your money on, then walk back down the street and see that same CD sitting on the motherfucking ground, you know what I mean? And having to just, you know, suck your pride up and pick it up and keep going. Mm. And, you know, that was a grind, bro. Like, I caught like the tail end of that. Mm-hmm. Like that's how I got, you know, with DJ Mr. Rogers and how that my music got to Slim Thug and Ray Face and all that happened. But the CD grind was just different, man. And I'll never forget when me and Rogers, the first project I ever did with him, like I didn't know what was going on. I was just recording with bro. He had found me. We ran into each other. People know that story if they know me. We ran into each other and he sent me some beats. And I was just recording to his beats, right? And just sending them back to him. I never worked with a producer before, so I didn't know how to, you know, that shit go. I was just recording in the closet over instrumental beats and shit. Yeah. Like, you know, some hood shit. And I'm like, I'm getting the records back from Rogers and the most crispy and shit, whatever. And then one day, it was like December or some shit. Like I think it might have been like the last week of December in like 2009. The nigga just tweeted the mixtape. I didn't even hear the shit yet. You know what I mean? It was a Settle for Less Volume 1. Like, it was my first real tape. He just tweeted that bitch, and I remember he put the link up. And I was like, oh, shit, it's out. You know what I mean? I'm like, fuck. Like, you know, I ain't know what to do, what to expect. I'm like, you know, I'm used to the handing out. Like, I did that first one, and I was handing it out. And I remember the end of the day, he showed me the link, and, like, that shit had, like, 2,500 downloads. And, like, bro, it took me like 6 months to hand out 1,000 CDs. Mm. So I was like, oh shit, look how much ground this shit can cover on this internet shit. Yeah. Like at that time, I wasn't really like tech savvy, you know what I mean? I was more like I didn't give a shit. Like, you know, I was just living life, you know what I mean? Yeah. So then I started seeing the value of the social media shit, and then the blogs is when that came into play. Mm-hmm. And then I see my mixtape, like, I'm pretty sure y'all posted Volume 1, absolutely. For sure. So like, why? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no idea why y'all posted that tape, besides the fact that y'all clicked on that motherfucker, listened to it, liked it, and felt it was good enough to put on your site and get some exposure to. Yeah. Everything had to be that organic back then, bro. And that shit was just a beautiful time. Yeah, like, for sure. That shit was cool, man.
So let me ask you this, were you, when that tape got tweeted like that and just popped up, like, were you in a panic? Because because that was just something so new. You know?
I ain't gonna lie, I think I did text Roger like, what the fuck? Like, it was like some shit, he probably remember better than me, but I was a little like thrown off, cause I'm like, damn, nigga, we didn't do the hard copies, we didn't do this, we didn't do that. And of course we did do all that, like he did, man, Rogers was on top of shit, I ain't gonna lie. But it just, like it literally, he just put that bitch together. And I'm glad he did that, cause it kept us from, knowing me at that point, I probably would have tried to overthink the shit or something like that. It would have been like, oh, maybe this song should go here. I think that, matter of fact, the first link we put out was fucked up and people was loving it.
Word.
Like, people was loving it. Roger's like, man, I put the wrong link out. It was like unmixed records on that shit. And like shit that I think that wasn't even on the album, on the project. And then people was loving that shit. And then he put up the real one, and like people just really went in. But nah, bro, like, yeah, when y'all posted the tape and shit, bro, like it was definitely like, it was you and for sure Traps and Trunks.
Yeah.
That was the two blogs that was just like really, really fucking with the down south underground, whether it was trap or whether it was like country rap tunes type shit.
Yeah.
That's how, we linked up with Crit. Like all that shit was from that time, from them two spots, like for sure. DGB. And Traps and Trunks for sure.
Yeah, nah, for sure. And shout out DJ Mr. Rogers, because that was who was always keeping us up on.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Like when he would tap in, he would tap all the way in. He was like, yeah, we gotta get it to them. We gotta get it to them. So nah, for sure.
Yeah, nah, absolutely. And then shout out to a lot of mixtapes too, because during that time.
And that was the next step. This before I didn't know we got that yet.
Right, okay.
Shout out to Thomas and all them, bro. Nah, they did wonders for my little underground career for sure.
Right.
All you guys, nah, for sure.
Yeah, nah, most definitely. So, so being in that moment with, as we're coming into the transition of, digital taking over, how long did it like take you to adapt, to being like, all right, we're not gonna print out as many CDs. We're not gonna do as much hand to hand.
But nigga, I was broke. So shit, I adapted quick as fuck. I was like, you mean I gotta print up CDs and shit no more? I could just literally get a cover, post this bitch and drop music. Ask Rogers, he had to tell me to calm down. I got the one to drop like the pace I drop now, I was ready to do that. Like I was like, wait a minute, I could do this. I could go in my closet, record a tape, get it mixed, and upload it and just watch like everybody fuck with it. Fucking right. Then I'm just gonna keep like rinse and repeat, nigga. I'm gonna keep doing this shit. Like this is cool. Like you just like it. Like it's cool. And I just locked in and started doing that. And I think the next project was like the Beautiful Struggle. Yeah. And that was the one that had like Big Crit on there. It was the first time Slim was on one of my projects. And yeah, man, I think like that was the one that got me to like just the next level of the blogs. I think we then on Smash started posting. Two Dope Boys started posting, and then it was like, just a continuous growth from there.
That New Music Cartel.
New Music Cartel. Yeah, man.
Shout out my boy Low Key.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. From You Heard That New, and over there doing this stuff with Ebro.
Fucking legends, man. Yeah.
Nah, for real.
Put a lot of people on.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, would you say that it's easier nowadays in the industry, like to get your music heard and to get your brand out there, than it was then? Because now it is a click of a button.
I can't say that because the thing is, I remember when I was getting posted on Two Dope Boys and shit like that, and DGB and it wasn't a trillion niggas getting posted. It was like a few, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't that many. So, I don't know how many people were submitting to the blogs every day and getting denied or whose shit wasn't good enough. I don't know. That's probably more, your space of knowing. But I do feel like for the average kid at home right now, it may be easier to make music and upload it and put it somewhere to get heard. But man, you got to get through a lot of noise, you know what I mean, to catch people's attention right now. Like you have to cut through a lot of shit for somebody to be like, oh yeah, I'll fuck with this, you know what I mean? So I think that's why I was telling you earlier, it's like it's hard for me to tell a little homie what to do besides be consistent. Right. That's the only thing I can tell anybody like that wants to do anything like right now, because it's just so much going on. Right. If you got a clothing line, there's 80 billion trillion clothing lines. You got to figure out what you're gonna do to cut through and make your shit different, you know what I mean? So Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting time in the game because on one side, you know, I look at, you know, at the time when people could be doing hand to hand and, you know, you have something tangible, you know, to give somebody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, and then too, thinking about it like, all right, you start the day, you got a box of CDs and you're like, all right, man, if I sell at least 10 of these, I'm making 100 and I can get something to eat and all right, my day is cool. But then I feel like when digital took over, that kind of, you know, that went away. Not even like kinda, that completely went away.
Yeah.
So then, you know, I wonder like how are artists even making, you know, like that little money like to get by, like how they were making when they were doing the hand to hand.
Well, I mean, the blessing of it is now, like, okay, yeah, you trying to do shit hand in hand back in the day, but you just reaching the people you see every day.
Right.
You throwing your shit on Spotify, your shit hit the right algorithm or the right playlist. You might not be making no money because you didn't sell 10 CDs a day, but you might get 1,000 streams.
Yeah.
And them 1,000 streams was 1,000 ears that you didn't have yesterday. Will that make you any real money in this game? Fuck no. That might make you some sense. You know what I mean? 1,000 streams, but you touching more people. You know what I mean? And that's what we trying to do with music. Like, this is a labor of love at this point. Niggas gotta understand, like, there's a lot of hustle rappers, and I really feel like that hustle rapper time is gone. And what I mean by that, like your Slim Thugs, your Jeezys, your Rick Rosses, the niggas that was like that, the Jay-Z's, like, you know, even myself, like the Nipseys, the Dolphs, like, you know what I mean, the niggas that, the Larry Junes, like, you know what I mean, is even Spitter, like, you know, all the hustle rappers, I feel like it's different now because you really gotta love this music shit. But beyond it being a hustle, and I'm sure everybody I listed does, but bro, like to break through now, bro, like especially like, man, you gotta love this shit first. You gotta be able to consistently do this shit. You gotta understand that nobody gonna listen to your shit or watch your videos or do none of that for a good little minute. But as long as you keep pushing and keep like getting that new 1,000 people every week or every 2 weeks or whatever, every month, however long it take, that shit gonna build up. But that nigga, like niggas say, like nigga Larry Jones, small numbers add up. You know what I mean? Like that's a real statement. Like niggas that come from that underground shit who watch niggas like Currency, you seen that. You seen it start off on the small blogs and get bigger and bigger. It was like a snowball effect. Yeah. So like now you gotta do the same thing, but I feel like it might take longer. But I know, you know, we were saying something earlier about the viral shit. That's the other way it can happen for you. Right. But it's like, damn, you gotta watch out because that viral shit, the integrity, the line between you giving up your integrity to do something stupid to go viral or doing something dope to go viral, sometimes it's a thin line, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, because it's like, how long are you gonna chase clown shit?
Right, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, no, for sure. So do you feel that artists, you know, like, do you feel like artists have, I guess, less opportunities like to be original, like with their music nowadays? You know what I'm saying?
I would think they would have more because it's now like you have access to everybody, so there's a group for anything. That's why the only reason I exist, because there's a group of people in this world who's like, yeah, we fuck with less. They like this shit that I'm talking. I'm not, bro, I watch people be like, who is this nigga every day? You know what I mean? For you saying as long as I've been doing it, I always see that under like a post or whatever. And people are like, who is this? What the fuck? Who is this nigga? I never heard of him. I'm in Houston. I never heard. Yeah. You see that shit. But at the same time, I exist, and I exist in a pretty cool fucking level. Yeah. Because there's a group of people out here that's like, nah, we fuck with dude. And I think that if you're a young and up and coming artist, what you gotta do, and this is what I did, is I focused on, if it was fucking 50 of them, focus on that 50. That 50 gonna that 50 gonna turn into 100. That 100 gonna turn into 2. That 2 gonna turn it, you know what I mean? It's just gonna keep, you gotta just focus on who fuck with you. Yeah. And they gonna spread the word because they gonna be dedicated, bro. All the fans I got, for the most part, bro, I watch these people go from being like 17 to motherfucking 27. You know what I mean? Like they're grown ass men now. Yeah. And they still, you know, putting new people on my music every day. So I feel like with all these avenues and streaming services and YouTube and social media and different ways of like just getting your shit out there, and even like the algorithm shit could suck, but sometimes it might put you in front of some new people. So you just gotta like just, I think they could, it's easier to just come out on like your own original type of time right now. Like when I was first coming out, like it was damn near like it was still the tail end of like you had to be from somewhere, be some type of way. You know what I mean? Like it just, it was still that. Like, you know what I mean? Like now, niggas don't even know where you're from. You could be from motherfucking, you know, wherever, bro. Like you could be from Montana. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know, come up with a Yellowstone mixtape. You know what I mean? And then you're gonna take off. It's like nobody gonna ask no questions. Nobody cares as long as your shit jamming. You know what I mean? And you interesting.
Yeah, nah, so, for real. Nah, that's true. I mean, like, it's definitely, I mean, the internet, like, made it almost borderless. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't necessarily have to.
I don't be caring or even be asking what to do. I just be like, oh, that's jamming. That's cool.
Like, I mean, a lot of people didn't and don't know that, like, Lil Uzi is from Philly.
Right,
you know
right, you wouldn't think, like, 'cause he's nothing like a Beanie Siegel or a Meek Mill. You know what I mean? A lot of dudes that come from there. So, it's just, you know, even, like, you'll hear that with just certain people even from down here. It'll be like, oh, his style different. I didn't know. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Nah, for sure. So, you've been a part of, I mean, 2 different camps where, you know, it's been an independent focus, but then like those artists have also dabbled into mainstream situations, you know, Boss Hog Outlaws with Slim Thug, you know, dealing with Currency with Jet Life and all that. Can you just talk to like some of the things you may have learned from, you know, working with like these 2 CEOs that, like I said, have mainly an independent mindset?
Man, both of them, they have so many similarities, just like outside the cars and shit like that. It just, man, them dudes go. Like, the pace that you see me work at right now with that rapid pace of putting out music and shit like that, I got that from literally having to, like, you know, Boss Hog Outlaws was a group also. There's a lot of niggas in it. You know what I mean? I wasn't nobody special. I didn't get no special privileges or nothing. But I would that nigga Slim would hit me every day, come rap. I showed up. If he was laying a verse or working on an album, he would be like, lay a verse. There's so many songs that my verses got cut off, and I don't mean it not cut off in like a bad way, like, no, your verse ain't good enough. It was just practice. Like, I wasn't meant to be on all the songs, but it was like, you know, if he do a song, you do one too. And make sure, you know, your chops is good, like you're working quick. And that's why I started dropping mixtapes every month. And then even before I knew Currency, I'm watching him just as a, you know, like getting inspiration and seeing how big the big homie move is like, you seeing like, you know, oh, he dropping a lot of music. He's focusing on his fan base. You know what I mean? Like he's tapped into his well and he's feeding them, bro. Like he's feeding his fans and his fans are turning into rabid fans. They like he could drop it the next day, they asking for a new project and it's seeing, now other people are seeing it and they're like, oh man, what the fuck? What's so great about this dude? Now they tapping in and you know, they learning. So it's like watching them work, it made me learn to work at that pace. And then like even them doing the independent and the major thing, I could tell with both of them that the independent route was where they was like, where they thrive. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I seen Spitter do the label thing and I seen him do the independent thing. He thrives in that independent space though. Like he, you know, because he can do what the fuck he want to do. Right. You know what I mean? He can drop when the fuck he want to drop, pick the beats, he do, you know, like he ain't got to deal with A&Rs. And I've seen that with like a lot of homies with labels. When they just doing their own shit, they killing it. Yeah. When that label get involved and you got to listen to this suggestion or this thing, or maybe they want to, you should do a song with this person. All of a sudden it's like, you can tell their heart ain't really just like in it. Yeah. And even with Slim, like you could just tell the independent route, like he killing it, but my favorite album from him is still the one he did with the major, Already Platinum. I just love that shit. Oh yeah. That's my shit. But yeah, man, I learned a lot from both them dudes, bro. They both like, even before I started rapping, they both like Slim was one of my like, if not my favorite rapper. And I ain't saying that just on some homie shit. I literally like was outside of Hastings back in the day, in the summer, I forgot, 05, waiting for Already Platinum to come out. You know what I mean? One of the first people in the store to grab that bitch. So it's like, I always watched how they move, even before I even wanted to rap. It's just I thought it was dope that these niggas was underground and had the fans that they had and had the bread that they had and the movement that they had. It showed you a different way. It showed you it was real. You know what I mean? Like it is actually tangible. You can touch this. Like a lot of rappers back then was like superheroes. You know what I mean? It looked kind of hard to achieve what a Young Jeezy achieved. even a Kanye, because Kanye was just fucking, you know, out this world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's real, man. And you know, speaking of Slim Thug, like I was blessed to be able to work that first project. I did the marketing on that first project. I was at Geffen. And so that, yeah, man, that was early in my career, meeting Slim and like seeing his work ethic, coming down here to Houston and like being in the studio with him. I mean, it was crazy.
It's a hell of a time, man.
Yeah.
I wish I got, you know, well, I mean, I got to see it as a fan though, and that was just as cool. But it's cool to like hear his stories and all the shit he told me about that time.
Word. Yeah, nah, definitely a legendary time, man. Shout out to Massa Mohawk, man. He really, Massa, bro, held me down.
He got a lot of legendary footage in the cut.
Come on. Sure. Yeah, most definitely. Need to holler at him about a documentary or something.
Right.
For real. So like, let's talk about even some of your early projects, man. Like Menace, like.
Oh man,
that mixtape was so classic, from the artwork to, I remember like what you had, like DJ Burn one.
It was a lot of I did that, and then I had a lot of other people beats on there. Yeah, I had Rogers on that shit. Mac Miller was on there.
Yeah, Mac Miller.
Dom Kennedy. Yeah, that was a cool tape. That was a cool one.
Yeah,
man, I've done so many. It's crazy because like when you name one, I could remember like where I was and what point in my life I was at when I was doing it.
Wow.
So yeah, it's crazy. I don't think about, I'm always like moving forward, but like I don't really like sit down and think about like shit from back then until somebody asks me about it. But yeah, no, it's cool. I like tell you when the last time I heard that tape.
Wow. So it's interesting. I read somewhere that you said that E36, you felt like that was maybe like your most successful project, but it didn't like, since it wasn't during the streaming era, you didn't feel like it really got like the eyes or the attention that it could have.
It got a lot of reach. I wouldn't say it's my biggest one. I can't call it. There's like a few projects. I feel like each one of them like took me to another level. Like I would say, Beautiful Struggle made me like solidify me as an artist in Houston. You know what I mean? And then E36 was a few years later. And that one was the one that got like it got like an XL from Double XL magazine, and got like all this love from like different publications. And I didn't do none of that. It just naturally got it. It got a lot of fucking downloads, and like I think I did my first little sold out show down here from that project. No, it was after Gran Turismo, but it was back to back. So it was like that same year. Yeah. And that actually right after that project, it led to me and I think Spitter hit me like 2 weeks after Gran Turismo came out. But yeah, man, it was, it definitely like got me to a higher level. Like it's one of them tapes that it was just one of them points, because I think the Boss Outlaw thing at that point was kind of like put on pause because everybody was doing their own thing. So that's when I kind of had to like step out on my own. That was the first project that I did, the whole steak and shrimp brand. So that's when that's when the real like independent, less solo on his own grind started pretty much. Like everything before I was with Boss Hog and, you know, and with Rogers and shit like that. But this is when I kind of like stepped out on my own and just started like, you know, me and Georgie got together, and it was from that project on we was grinding.
Yeah, because which one was the one where you on the cover, you kneel down, you got the hat on to say steak and shrimp, right?
That was it was one of the steak and shrimps. I think it might have been one.
Yeah, I think that was the first one. Yeah. You got the sweatsuit on.
And that was like a year after E36. That was all like, you know, just got it rolling. Like,
yeah. And so then when did you start your label Dios?
Dios 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, summer 2020.
Right.
Yeah, because Dios was a idea between me and Georgie, who was like, at the time he did, like, he's my bro, he did all my videos, all my media, like, you know, all our merch designs, all that. And we just decided to, like, you know, like, man, we doing this, so let's put a brand together. And we was toying with the idea of like DIY, because we just were some real do-it-yourself type dudes, but then at the same time, that brand name was too vague. Like if you type it in on like a Google search, you're gonna get DIY, how to shoot, you know, whatever. Right. Build whatever, you know what I mean? And we was in Japan for a tour I had out there, and he came up with the idea of Dios. And it has a double meaning of did it ourselves, and then Dios means God in Spanish. So it's like, it's just a cool, you know what I mean, play on words. And then, we was like, shoot, it'd be a good brand name, a good label name, you know what I mean, something different.
Yeah.
And we started that during the pandemic. And it's crazy, it took off during the pandemic.
Yeah.
We were able to open the store in the middle of a pandemic, and it just kept growing. So it was cool, man.
That's like unheard of, man. Like, you know, because we heard of so many people closing down businesses, closing down brick and mortars. And then during that time, you were able to
take a leap. And I mean, we felt like it was there. Like, Georgie had a lot of faith also. He was just like, if we killing it online like that, we just know, like, we're real self-aware of where we at. Texas still has like a real old school crowd at times. They may not be real big at just, you know, ordering shit online and type of shit. So we were like, if we got a space for them to pull up, I bet you we'll kill it. And we did that. And a lot of people pulled up, and it still was going crazy online. So if, you know, it helped with that. It actually gave people something tangible instead of like having to wait and shit.
Right. And then during the pandemic, you also dropped a joint project with Bun B. That's distant.
Shit crazy, bro. Like, and that's the thing, like,
got some joints on there, man.
He that's some shit, like, you know, coming up, I never would have thought that I would, you know, like, it was crazy the other day, like, I posted a clip, somebody sent me of Ninth Wonder saying that like I'm like vintage Bun B. He was in like a Duke classroom telling people like, dude named L.E. $ reminds me of vintage Bun. And I'm like, man, I grew up watching this dude. Like, I was just like, Bun's always been, him and Pimp, UGK is my favorite. Like them, Slim Thug, like Big Timers, like is that type of shit is what raised me. I can't sit there and be like, oh, Nas, Biggie, Tupac. Like, that's just not what I was jamming. Like, I heard it. But Big Timers, UGK, Slim Thug, E40, like, you know, shit like that was really getting played. And getting the opportunity to even just have a relationship with Bun and him jumping on a few fucking projects and him being like just cool was cool enough. Him becoming like a mentor to me and a really good friend and just like, you know, a dude he hasn't done an album with anybody else on some rap shit besides Pimp until he did the one that we did. When I heard him say that, it tripped me the fuck out. And I was like, damn, so, you know, like, there's a lot of people he could have did that with and fucked with. And we went out there, bro, and that was probably one of the coolest experiences. We went to this studio called Sonic Ranch. It was in the middle of nowhere. That's why we did it, because it was during the pandemic. And a friend of his was out there, David Satek, he was out there. And he was already, you know, using one of the studio rooms. So he was like, man, come out here. It's literally in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the desert on the border in Texas over there, like outside El Paso, like maybe 45 minutes. There's nobody here. They have their own cooks and, you know, like food, everything's like on site. So we pulled up and, man, I made the beats and we rapped and that shit was cool, man. Some dream bucket list. But I didn't have that on my bucket list. Like that's so beyond the bucket list. Like it wasn't even, you know, like that's why like when niggas be like, who you gonna do a joint project with? I'm like, shit, I'm straight. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Besides working with Slim and Killa, like Boss Hog Outlaws, that's my brothers. Like, like, I mean, shit, I got one with Bun B. Like, fuck you gonna tell me, man?
I mean, to be able to say that, like, you the only person that Bun got an album. Like,
nigga, like, I don't even consider myself in the rap game, bro. I'm in the less game. Rap game I never really got love in the rap game, bro, but I always got love I got more love from the legends and the niggas I grew up listening to than I feel like the rap game. Like, when I mean, like, you know, the publications. I seen some nigga the other day hating on me. Well, I forgot his name. He one of them white up north niggas was talking crazy, said something about he don't fuck with my music. And I was like, man, like, nigga, you ain't never rode in no slab, been in Texas, did none of this shit. You don't fucking talking about you fuck with my music, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's them rap game, little nerdy motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? But the Bun B's, the Slim Thugs, the E40s, all these legends, niggas I grew up on that I never thought I never paid for a feature. These niggas fucked with me, you know what I mean? So, and even a lot of these niggas' favorite current rappers, they fuck with me. So I'm like, I'm not in the rap game, I'm in the less game, bro. And get with Bun B and do an album, shit, nigga can't tell me shit. I don't give a fuck what numbers any of y'all niggas do. He ain't do it with y'all.
That's real.
You know what I mean?
Real.
So
and Bun probably fucked with you because of your individuality, like how you move.
Bun not gonna fuck with nobody who got a flawed character. He not gonna put his name on no album cover with somebody who got a fucked up reputation or is a fuck nigga or can't rap or can't do no music. You know what I mean? So it's like, shit, anybody got to ask about me, look at it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't do a lot of interviews. There's not a lot of press on me. So if you want to know something about a nigga, just look at that move. You know what I'm saying? Or look at the niggas that fuck with me. Look at the other artists that you know, that rock with a nigga.
Do you have a favorite song on that project?
Oh, man, Maintain. Maintain. I like, it's just, man, that it's like, just like I said about Menace, when you listen to something, it brings you back to exactly where y'all was at. And like, bro, when I hear that record, I could smell where the studio was. It feels like I could just walk out that door and we'd be back over there. You know what I'm saying? Will Spile. I mean, I love the whole project, bro. Yeah. That's one of my favorites. It's always gonna be close to my heart. I actually did make the beats like on the spot. You know what I mean?
I was gonna ask you.
I haven't even been producing much lately, but for that, like I did them on the spot. Cause I had, when he told me like maybe 2 or 3 days before that we was gonna try to go. So I was at the crib and I tried to cook some shit up, but it wasn't really coming together. So I was like, fuck it. I just found some like shit that I wanted to chop up, some samples and shit like that. And I was like, I'll just do it when we get there. You know, I feel like, fuck it, ain't nothing else to do but make beats. And everything I was making, he was fucking with. And shit, we just banged that shit out, bro. Pause. That shit was cool, man.
Yo, had you always been making beats like on even your previous projects and stuff?
I started in 2019.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I started in 2019 with a project called Original Player. And yeah, because Rogers always would tell me, like, bro, you could do this shit. Like, your ears, you know, you pick great beats, so you could probably make them. You just gotta learn the program. And I ain't gonna sit here and say I'm the rawest at all, nowhere near. I'm still learning on that shit. And it takes me time. That's why I kind of like rather still get with like great producers like Tavares Jordan, Mr. Rogers, Happy Perez, and all the people I work with to like just, you know, let them make the beats because it'll get done in a timely fashion. With me, it'll take forever.
Man, you must be doing something right, bruh. You done got Bun to do a collab album with you that you produce all the tracks for, and you not even a known producer?
That too. Like for him to even have the faith to, you know, like to, you know, want to do that.
I mean, y'all chemistry is crazy though, so I can understand it because everything I hear y'all.
That's my dog. Like I said, it's crazy. That's just one of the closest homies. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that's my dude, bro. Like, and it's cool to have somebody like, you know, anytime I'm like need some rap advice or some shit, it's him or Slim. Or both. You know what I mean? I'll get 2 point of views on the issue, you know what I mean? But they usually be on the same page. But yeah, that's my
word. Yeah, I like on the new album Bigger Than Texas on the song Game Plan with Bun, where you came in on the first verse, like looking to my eyes, like taking like his lines from the Still Riding Dirty. Right. Man, that was classic.
Right, man, yeah, bro. Like, that album, bro, like, man, Bun got some crazy, like, who gives a damn if you can't afford a turkey and ham? Man. Like, you know what I mean, bro? Like, that boy, like that. Yeah, man, he got some lines, bro. Yeah, like, he one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, for days.
And shout out to Trill Burgers, man. Yeah, word. Yeah, man, that pivot has been crazy.
Oh, yes.
He's been having, like, his last few years could be, they need to make a documentary between the rodeo and the burger shit, and like he's still doing music, popping up, killing features and shit, man. It's just a blessing, bro.
Nah, he's killing it, man. Yeah, we gonna go tap into Trill Burgers while we in town.
Got to.
Yeah, most definitely. So let's talk about the new album, Bigger in Texas.
Yeah, man.
You dropped that. Was that in May or June?
July. I mean, I'm sorry, June 27th.
Okay.
Yeah, June 27th.
Okay, word. June 27th.
Yeah. I snuck that in there. Yeah, for sure.
See, man.
Yeah, I had it. I had been working on it for like a year. I was putting out other shit, and most of that was just songs that I knew wasn't gonna cut it. And when I finished in like mid-May, I was like, we was aiming to drop the end of May, but I was like, nah, June 27th is a cool ass date. Yeah, it's next month, and that give us more time to like promote and do shit. So yeah, we did.
Word. Nah, that's what's up, man.
Naturally, you know.
Yeah. The song Candy Blue with Killa Kyleon.
Yeah. That's the next video. We actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That bitch Tavares Jordan went crazy with that beat. Killa's verse is nuts.
Yeah.
Killa definitely one of the best rapping niggas in this game. I'll put him against anybody. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Yeah, I'll put the house up on Killa.
Yeah, on Killa Kyleon, y'all. Nah, man, show me somebody out rapping. All the niggas with the bars know about Killa Kyleon. They know about him.
Yeah, for sure. And then you dropped the video, what it is with Slim Thug.
Yeah, man. I made that beat, and I made that. That's one of the first beats I made, actually, like back in 2019.
Oh, wow.
And it's finally, like, I knew what I wanted to do with it. It just wasn't the right time. And then, like, I finally, like, all right, bet, let me put Slim on here, kind of bring back that Star Trek, already platinum type vibe. And that shit, he went off, so, like, it worked out crazy. It worked out.
Word. And then Freddie Gibbs, who you got a great relationship with, and all that. Yeah, he's on the Pappadeaux Platter song,
man,
which is crazy. Yeah. So you said a line in that song that was like real interesting to me, man. You said you successful as a black man, but you could still be ducking hollows.
Yeah.
Like that's just so real, because I was just having a conversation with somebody just about like the black experience and how no matter what type of success you get, no matter even what types of rooms you try to put yourself in, no matter what, you still black.
It's still the same. Like you can't even have things, you know what I mean, the same way like, other races can. Some people might be like, oh, that's ignorant, whatever. Nah, man, like when you a black man and you got a Rolex, or you say you got a good ass job and you decide to get you a Rolex and a bust down Cuban, but you still, got to keep a pistol with you just in case, a nigga gon' bust a move, you know what I'm saying? And this ain't on no gangster shit, it's on some man shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just making home type shit. But you could be of another race and another, and walk around with a presidential Rolex on and nobody's gonna think twice or fuck with you about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, that's your own kind, you know what I mean? Like it happens. Like we're not gonna act like there's not burglaries and robberies. It happens. But I mean, it just happens way more rampantly to us, by us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, it doesn't matter what you do, like athletes getting robbed, rappers getting robbed, scammers getting robbed, like anybody like that's showing off getting robbed. But I mean, also if you're gonna show off, like you got to know what come with it too.
Yeah,
so,
no, that's real. Yeah. I think in Friday when they show Debo come in the neighborhood and everybody start tucking in their chains, that's like the perfect way to kind of break that down. Because in our own neighborhoods, around pretty much like, our own partners, you're gonna be kind of feeling different. You're not like what I mean. Niggas don't put on all they. I mean, some niggas put their jewelry on and go run to the neighborhood, but most niggas with sense don't. You know what I mean? Right. Nah. Yeah, that's real. Shit, even when we go shoot content in the hood, I don't wear none of my jewelry. You know what I'm saying?
Niggas ain't got no, man, niggas be hungry.
Man, I'm telling you, boy, you be out there looking like lunch.
Too. It's tough times. You can't be playing in people's face. You know what I mean?
That's real.
You gotta definitely respect all situations.
Yeah. And
everybody ain't having it their way right now. So desperate times.
Desperate measures. Yeah. That's real. Your ass get to looking like a Pappadeaux Platter.
And them drugs is real. Drugs be having niggas thinking out their mind, thinking they can pull shit off that they can't. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that part.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. So then with the album, with Bigger Than Texas, you say the visual was Killa Kyleon is coming next?
Yeah, Candy Blue.
Okay.
And then the deluxe version coming out probably towards the end of this month too. So I got just some mixing to get done on that.
Word. Yeah. Do you ever drop screwed and chopped versions of your albums?
I haven't in a minute, man. I just gotta reach out to the Chop Stars homies. They used to just do them off the rip. I gotta holler at them now. But yeah, that's the family. So
okay.
Yeah, I need to. I mean, shit. If anybody's music needs to be slowed and chopped, I mean, who the fuck else? Right. But sometimes they be just on the major shit. I don't know how that work. Yeah. But we'll figure it out.
Word, yeah, hell yeah. No,
might get Rogers to do it. DJ Mr. Rogers cold with it too.
Come on. Yeah, that'd be hard. So outside of music, I mean, you dabble in a lot of things, man. From collecting cars to I know you into acting, but then one of the most
what I acted. I ain't got no acting role.
I mean, hey, look, you know what? I seen you. You know what?
I appreciate it, but not.
I said that because I seen you post something on your IG and you was like rapper, actor. Oh, okay.
I be trolling. Nah, man, that just be funny shit.
But what I do want to tap into,
I'm a very good dancer too. Nah, I'm fucking with you.
Yo, what I do want to tap into though, bro, is your wrestling career.
Oh yeah, my short-lived wrestling career.
Yo, man, because I was tripping, man. When I seen you, I mean, you was doing like the real like Chris Jericho, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Scissor kick joints, like, man.
Got me fucked up. I went out there and kicked some ass. I retired on top, you know what I'm talking about?
Wow, that's what's up.
Now, shout out to Booker T. Shout out to Brad Gilmore. They have a wrestling league down here called Reality of Wrestling. And it's Booker T's league. And man, it's cool, bro. Like, a lot of people that you see at the top of the WWE and shit right now, they came through Reality of Wrestling. Like, they train people. Then they have like their own like program and their own they get on stream. They have like their own YouTube channel. Okay. And they doing numbers, like, you know what I mean? So it's cool. It's like independent rap almost. It's independent wrestling. And he hit me up, man, and yeah, they wanted me to, you know, they put a little storyline together for me to do some wrestling, and it was cool. Yeah. It was cool, but respect anybody that do that, because I did that shit just that short time and had all kind of injuries. Man. That shit is real, and I didn't have to get up and do it again the next day. So, you know, them niggas, they get hurt. They got to get up and get in front of the cameras and do all that shit however they feel. Yeah. So much respect to anybody who's wrestling. I might make a comeback one day, we'll see. Yeah, man, we need to see that, man. Hey, I saw something that you had posted on Instagram where I think it was like you made a creator player on the WWE game. But I was tripping at first, like, bro, in the game? Like, yeah, man, I mean, shit, you see the Master P, dog. I grew up watching P, you know what I'm saying? P was with WCW, so like, I'm like, shit, I get to do that on a small scale with my shit, so fuck it, like, I'm gonna do what he did, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know? Nah, that's real. How long did it take you to like actually learn like how to do like some of them stunts, some of them moves? Cause I mean, everything you weren't doing everything you see me do in that ring, I learned 30 minutes before we did it. Oh wow. Yeah. Wow. Oh, okay. So you just a natural like athlete, anybody there will vouch for me like that. Literally was like there is a group of dudes called La Familia. Shout out to them. They were like, hey bro, you want to try this? And I was like, I mean, you think I could do it? They're like, hell yeah, we'll show you, man. And yeah, and all this shit worked out. So I don't know how I was able to pull it off in front of that crowd, but shit, we did it. Yeah. You know what I mean? That shit was cool. Word. Do you think that the laid back, you know, chill, relax flow, like, do you think that niche, or do you think that, you know, just like vibe within rap is starting to like become kind of like a trend or something that like everybody's trying to do? I see it. I do see it because you got the homies like Larry June killing it, Jay Worthy killing it. You know, you got the legends who've been doing it, the Dom Kennedys, the Currency, the fucking godfather of the whole shit. You know what I mean? It I did see, you could tell like when all the covers started looking like some dudes started all squatting by cars or old BMWs, and everybody covers started looking the same. I'm not talking about none of the people we just named. I'm talking about like on the algorithm, I'll see like little young homies and shit. And it's dope to me to see like, you know, people wanting to do something different besides like, you know, the melodic rap that took over and all that shit like that. But I would like to see, you know, like, you know, everybody kind of represent themselves, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people I'll see be like, oh, let's say like Ellie Dollar, a Currency, and Larry June, or et cetera, is all the same. But nah, they're nowhere near that. Larry represents the Bay, you know what I mean? He represents that shit like a Bay nigga, you know what I mean? From the way he talked to the lingo, to the cars he drives, to how he dressed. Spitter represents an NO nigga from how he carry himself, how he does, you know what I'm saying? Like to the cars he drives, to the way he moves, to the way he talks, to the way he say shit in his raps. Me, I sound like a nigga from this motherfucking Texas, nigga. Like I drive nothing but slabs. I got a couple BMWs. I got Bun, and you know what I mean? And like you hear that twang in my music, you hear the chopped and screwed hooks. I represent this area, you know what I'm saying? And you know, like when I hear somebody from an area sounding like somebody from another area. It's like, okay, you're not representing, you're not doing, like Jay Worthy, he sound like you know, some classic LA shit. You know what I mean? Perico, he sound like some classic LA shit. Even like Gibbs sound like, you know, like Midwest box frame Cadillac music, rapid fire, smooth at the same time. You know what I mean? Like everybody got they, like, you could tell where they from and where they coming from. So if you a young homie coming up trying to do that, you know what I mean, just make sure you bringing it like, you know, your own way. You know what I'm saying? Don't be too similar. You know, because when, like I said, they'll try to box you in quick, and let's not play this shit out either. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I hear a lot of beats sounding the same. Even me, like me and Tavares, we made a conscious effort on Bigger in Texas to put them more organs in the music, more guitar in the music, more chopped and screwed. I had to differentiate my shit from the shit that people was trying to group me with, because it's like, nah, we all different. You know what I mean? There's probably like vibes that you get from us that's similar, but you know, everybody's shit is actually different. You know what I mean? We all individuals. So yeah, hopefully they don't burn it out though. You know what I mean? Like if everybody just, you know, find their own frequency within that realm, it'll be some cool shit. You know?
I was gonna ask you about the production on Bigger Than Texas, speaking on that, because I want to know, was there like a lot of live instrumentation within the production? Because some of the beats,
like Tavares, man, he works with the homie, like his name is Hijinks. He gets on the guitar and goes crazy. And Tavares and had like those bass lines, all that shit.
Man, you can hear that bass on some of them songs. You hear boom, boom, boom.
There's a lot of that, man. Like even like I think the one with Bun, like you could just hear it. It sounds like almost a UGK type vibe and shit like that, man. So yeah, it just, you know, like we trying to. Honestly, like I really feel like country rap tunes is a dying thing. You know what I mean? Like trap kind of took over, and I still think that's a part of country rap tunes. But there is an original. There is the other part of the down south rap music, like, you know, the Dungeon Family shit, the UGK shit, the No Limit, you know what I mean? Even the Trill Entertainment era. All those type of beats and all those vibes still need to be like out here. You know what I mean? It all can't be the one way, you know what I mean? Like we need the Metro Boom and shit, you know what I mean? And all that type of shit too. But, you know, we also need our other shit, you know what I mean? So I would like to see more niggas kind of like, you know, represent that shit too. Yeah. Cause man, like without it, then we all like just in one thing, you know what I mean? Like it ain't like the music that our forefathers like went to bat for, you know what I mean? Like the shit that, like when Pimp C would like put our shit on one side and put their shit on the other side, you know what I mean? Like we still gotta represent that soul that we brought, you know what I mean?
Nah, for sure.
That church, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Nah, that country rap tunes, like that represents like that, like you said, that soul, that funk, you know what I'm saying?
Like that humidity in the music, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you somewhere fucking Opelousas, Louisiana, you know, like, you know, Port Arthur, Texas, you know what I mean? Or like, you know, like just somewhere like, you know, like where the people really live to this music, you know what I mean? That's real, man. Like, yeah, for real. Like,
get them cowbells, get them, you know, that organ in there.
It's just certain those little elements, like that guitar gotta be, that twang gotta be in there, you know what I mean? Like you say, them organs, them 808s, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Now, I don't know what song this was on, but you said a line, you said, grown man, I ain't never had no stage fright.
Oh yeah.
Is that true?
Nah, it's like I just never cared. Like I don't care what nobody think about me. You know what I mean? It's just like the first time I ever performed, I remember we was opening for J. Cole, and a nigga, Mr. Rogers, was like, "Hey, you got some weed?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Go smoke real quick." I'm just standing in the back smoking. I had my song come on. He come, I am at mic. I was like, "Oh, I got to rap." He's like, "Yeah." Like, fuck, it's like fucking karaoke. I bet. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just do that shit. So yeah. I mean, it takes a while to find your pace for sure up there and like what works for you. But for sure, like as far as being afraid to get in front of people, nah, I was a dumbass in high school. Like I didn't give a shit. Like I was a problem. Like not like a crazy shit. I was just like, I was a distraction in school. I was the first nigga to laugh, like, you know, that person. So
Yeah, I can dig it, man. Yeah, I took that line as like, just having that confidence.
Yeah, I believe in my shit. Nigga, like I said, I don't give a fuck about none of this shit. Like, it's the less game. Like I said, I ain't in the rap game. In the less game, I'm less, nigga.
Yeah. Only in competition with yourself.
Yeah, only with me, man. Like, yeah, for sure.
What's some of the things that you do to, keep those high vibrations and, keep yourself motivated?
Stay to myself and my team. Stay around people that love and support what I do. And I stay out of mess. You know what I mean? Like when niggas I be at the gym, they got a homie that be talking to me at the gym. He'll walk up to me and try to tell me about like the latest rap drama, and I'll be like, I don't know nothing about that, bro. You know what I mean? Like I'll tell you what, you watch Sports Center this morning? You know what I mean? Like that's, like I just stay out of everything. Like I don't, I'm not big on like you said, the whole competition thing. Like I'm not waking up checking what another nigga got going on. Cause when you've been in this game long enough and know how the game work, you don't really like, you just kind of know how shit go. You know what I mean? Like you know what's real and what, all this shit made up. So yeah, bro, like I don't, it's not like just saying being nonchalant and not caring, but it's just being focused on what you got going on. It's literally minding your business. I think if people mind their business, they'll be high vibration, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they'll be cool, because it's like when you start consuming, and that's the bad part of social media. When you start consuming everybody else's business and shit ain't got nothing to do with you. Like when I hear people be like, I gotta take a social media break, bitch, how often is you on this shit?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
What you mean you gotta take a break? Put your fucking phone down, delete the shit. What's going on?
But some folks, man, a lot of folks wake up and the first thing they doing is grabbing that phone, until they go back to sleep, like it's like.
I get it, but that could be dangerous.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? For sure.
You gotta know how to
unplug. Mental
unplug.
health, you gotta definitely like tap out that shit and sit with your shit for a minute. Go take a shit without your phone for once. You know what I mean?
Right. Some people can't do that.
Yeah.
They stomach, their bowels might not even work.
Bring a magazine or something. Bring it back to that era.
Right. Les, what would you say is one of the biggest life lessons you learned in the game?
Life lessons. I mean, just the consistency part. And how to handle you just don't get too high off the highs and too low off the lows. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be able to, I see people like, they'll get so excited when they maybe think something's about to happen or something's seeming to go a certain way. And when it doesn't, they'll just vanish. You'll never hear from them again. Bro, that's happened to me so many times in this game. I done had the biggest execs hit me up. And I ain't talking about like the rapper ones. I'm talking about the big ones. I done had opportunities with other artists hit me up, shit when it seemed like, oh man, this shit about to crack off, and shit fell through. But I didn't get high off the shit. I was just like, I bet, well shit, nigga, we back to work. Yeah. And when shit got bad, you know what I mean? Fuck it, back to work. What was always gonna get you straight is work. Yeah. So just be consistent and just, like don't get too high off the highs and too low off the lows, man. Just understand this shit keeps going, you know what I mean? And anything can happen. So the best thing to do is just, work and just find a cool space mentally and just be prepared for anything.
That's real, man. Can we talk about that for a second too, though, man? Like, don't get too high on the highs and don't get too low on the lows. Yeah. I think that's so important because, in different scenarios, some can go bad and you think it's the end of the world. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Or, some go good and then, you might treat other people funny thinking that this is the best thing that ever happened.
You thinking that you the hottest shit in the world and you handling people wrong, and I've seen it, bro. Yeah. I've seen people handle me that way. Like, try to hold their nuts on a nigga like me, and then all of a sudden, like, years pass by, you trying to do a joint project. Nah, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because I see how shit was. Yeah. But bro, like, you don't get on no high horse, because perfect example, what I say is like, one of my closest homies and mentors, both of them, Slim Thug and motherfucking Bun B. They have fucked up my viewpoint of the entire rap game. Every nigga I deal with, I look at them weird because these two niggas is so real. And I don't mean that on no, like, niggas will be like, oh, he dick ride. Nah, it ain't that, bro. It's like literally just as human beings, these niggas, niggas is solid. And fuck that, not even just them two, really all the Houston rappers. Kiki, Paul Wall, all these niggas is just good niggas, men of their word, do what they say they gonna do, stand up dudes, they don't treat people funny, you don't see them shitting on nobody. I've seen these niggas be superstars when it was hot. But maybe when shit was cool for them, they hot again. Always the coolest niggas, take time for everybody, bro. Like, it's just, they just good people, bro. So like, for me to see these dudes who are legendary dudes be good people like that, I have no understanding of seeing like a nigga who's only been kind of successful in this social media, fake ass successful era where everything ain't really what it seemed and they be handling people funny. But then when all of a sudden shit get funny, all of a sudden you mad humble again. Like, nah, bro, ain't nobody got time for that. You showed us who you was, man. So yeah, like, don't get too high off the highs. Like, don't buy into your own hype. Believe in yourself, be confident, and let that confidence come out of you naturally, but don't be no bitch ass nigga about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, that's real. Man, Ellie Dollar, man, what else you got coming up, bro? What else can we be expecting from you?
Man, Bigger in Texas, deluxe album is gonna come out probably end of this month. Got another album, Third Coast, coming out later this year. Midnight Club 2, we're working on that diligently. Me and Mr. Rogers. Dios, we got a new big store. You know, God's been good. We got this big new location in Houston. We're gonna open that up in like September. The brand keep growing. Shout out to my partner, Georgie. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to, Boys in Blue, Boss Hog Outlaws, coming soon. Me, Slim Thug, Killa Kyleon. That's pretty much done. So you're gonna see us out here representing with that. Killa gonna be dropping something soon. Slim gonna be dropping soon. So, you know, everybody just moving like that, you know. More music, more merch, more moves, shows, all that shit. Wow. So, yeah, man. Man, nah, that's what's up, bro. Yeah. Man, Ellie Dollar, man, thanks for letting DGB pull up on you, man. Y'all family, man. We 15 years deep there, man. This motherfucking shit, for real. For a long time. For real. It's tight seeing y'all grow and seeing y'all adapt. Because, you know, like we were talking earlier, this game has changed so many different ways. Nah, for sure. Not even just for me, even for the media outlets. And y'all definitely, like, you know, was able to keep up with the times and stay on top of shit and continue to grow. So that shit cool. Nah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we both represent, you know, like, you know, stand down. Yeah. Being consistent. Nah, facts. You know. DGB and motherfucking live mixtapes, that motherfucking showcase that I did in motherfucking South by Southwest was probably one of the biggest things for my career at that time. Cause that's when I performed Rest in Peace Gangsta Boo. She was on stage before me. Yeah. I went up there, but I met Rest in Peace Yams. That's the first time me and Yams actually, well, that wasn't the first time, but we ran into each other that night. Yeah. That was my nigga. But that night, I think my performance went well, and that's when I met it from Thomas and everybody from Live. Yeah. And shit, from that point on, every time I dropped, they would put my shit at the very top, no questions asked. And that shit, you know, did wonders for a nigga career at that time. So yeah, nah. I always loved the DGB, man, for always supporting real underground. This ain't no fake shit. This ain't no planet shit. This is real underground grinding down south, Third Coast hustling rap shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Was that, still that? You know what I mean? And we still rocking, man. Yes, sir. Still rocking, man. Yeah. Still building it brick by brick. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Yes, sir. Much love, man. Yeah, man. Top of the top, we got what we got. A little to lot, that shot me a shot.